All right, so today we are going to be taking a deep dive into generative AI.
Oh, cool.
Specifically, we're going to be exploring its applications in business. And to do that, we'll be referencing Generative AI Business Applications.pdf as our main source.
Okay.
Now, for anyone who's been living under a rock for the past, I don't know, 6 months, generative AI has kind of taken the world by storm.
Yeah.
It seems like every day there's some crazy new headline about, AI writing a movie script or composing a symphony.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty wild.
But beyond all the hype, there's a lot of serious potential for this technology to transform the way businesses operate.
Absolutely.
So let's start by unpacking what generative AI actually is. I mean, we hear the term AI thrown around all the time,
Okay.
but what makes generative AI different?
That's a good question. I would say the key difference is that most AI we encounter is focused on analysis, right? Recognizing patterns in data.
Right.
Generative AI actually creates new content.
Okay, so instead of just understanding data, it's actually producing something new.
Exactly. It's like the difference between reading a book and writing one.
Okay, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Now, our source material mentions these things called GANs, VAEs, and transformers.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about these without getting too technical?
Sure. So these are like the big three when it comes to generative AI technologies.
Right.
Each one has its own unique strengths and approaches.
Okay.
For example, GANs or Generative Adversarial Networks, those work by pitting two neural networks against each other.
Oh, interesting.
It's kind of like an AI arms race
Right.
where one network tries to create realistic content and the other tries to spot the fakes.
So they're constantly pushing each other to get better.
Exactly.
Oh.
And the result is this incredible output that's just getting more and more sophisticated.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
So what about VAEs? How are they different?
VAEs, or variational autoencoders, those are more like code breakers, I guess you could say.
Okay.
They learn to compress complex data into a simpler code, and then from that code, they can generate new data that's very similar to what they were trained on.
Ah, so it's like learning the essence of something and then using that to create something new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is really useful for things like creating synthetic data for medical research or, generating those super realistic 3D models you see in movies and video games.
That's really cool. And what about transformers?
Oh, transformers. Those are all about understanding and generating text.
Okay.
They're the brains behind those AI chatbots that are getting so good you can barely tell you're talking to a machine.
Right.
And they're also behind those pretty impressive text generators that can write poems, articles, even code.
It's kind of scary how good they're getting.
It is, yeah.
So it seems like with all this amazing technology at our fingertips, the possibilities for businesses are practically limitless.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What are some of the biggest opportunities that businesses are seeing with generative AI?
Well, one of the most exciting areas is innovation. Imagine being able to design a product or prototype it with AI's help.
That's incredible. And I know our source material mentions a few examples of companies doing just that.
Oh, yeah. There's the car companies that are using AI to design those lighter yet stronger parts for their vehicles.
Yes, it's boosting performance and fuel efficiency.
Exactly. And we also have fashion brands that are using AI to predict upcoming trends and create entirely new product lines.
That must be a game changer for an industry that's all about staying ahead of the curve.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fascinating to see how AI is changing the game in so many different fields.
Yeah.
Now, beyond just designing new products, are there examples of companies using AI to create entirely new types of services?
Oh, definitely. One that comes to mind is the use of AI in healthcare.
Oh, right. The pharmaceutical companies are leveraging this technology.
Exactly. They're using AI to generate synthetic medical data, which is actually accelerating drug discovery and opening doors to life-saving treatments.
Wow. So we're talking about AI potentially saving lives here.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Now, speaking of changing the game, I'm really intrigued by this idea of using generative AI to create highly personalized customer experiences.
Oh, yeah, personalization is huge.
Our source material talks about this e-commerce platform that's using AI to write product descriptions and recommendations that are tailored to each individual customer.
Yeah, it's like having a personal shopper in your pocket, who knows your tastes and can suggest products you might actually be interested in.
That's pretty amazing. How does that even work?
Well, these AI systems can analyze your past purchases, your browsing history, even things you've liked or shared on social media.
Wow.
And then using that information, they can craft descriptions and recommendations that feel really personal.
So it's not just about showing you the same generic product description that everyone else sees.
No, not at all. It's all about understanding the nuances of language and the individual preferences of each customer.
That's incredibly sophisticated. It seems like AI is pushing personalization to a whole new level.
It definitely is.
But this brings up an interesting question. If we can already create these kinds of hyper-personalized experiences online, what does that mean for the future of retail as a whole?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Will brick-and-mortar stores become obsolete? Or will they find new ways to integrate AI into the physical shopping experience?
That's something we'll be exploring in more detail in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
But for now, let's take a step back from specific applications and look at the bigger picture. How is generative AI fundamentally changing the entire customer experience?
Well, it's taking personalization to a whole new level.
Right.
Our source material uses the term hyper-personalization to describe this phenomenon, and it's more than just a buzzword.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What exactly does hyper-personalization mean? What makes it different from the personalization we already see online?
Well, traditional personalization is often based on like broad demographics, right? Like
Yeah.
your age, your gender, your location.
Right.
Hyper-personalization takes it much further. It uses AI to analyze a ton of data points, including your real-time location, your current mood, even trending topics on your social media feeds.
So it's like AI is getting to know you on a deeply personal level.
Yeah. It's all about understanding each individual customer as like a unique entity with their own set of needs and desires.
And the goal is to use that knowledge to create experiences that are so tailored to that individual that they feel almost, I don't know, a little bit spooky.
Yeah, spooky is a good word for it.
Can you give me an example of what this hyper-personalization might actually look like in action?
Sure. Imagine you're browsing an online store,
Okay.
and instead of seeing like the same product recommendations that everybody else sees, you get recommendations based on the time of day, your location, even the weather outside.
Oh, wow.
So if it's like a hot summer day, you might see recommendations for swimwear and sunscreen.
Right.
But if it's a chilly evening, you might get suggestions for cozy sweaters and hot chocolate.
Okay.
It's like the AI is anticipating your needs before you even know them.
That's pretty impressive.
Mm.
Or maybe a little creepy, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I get that.
But while this level of personalization can be incredibly convenient, it does raise some concerns, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how much data is actually being collected and how is it being used?
You're right. It's a valid concern. Hyperpersonalization does raise important questions about data privacy and the potential for manipulation.
Right.
I think it's crucial for consumers to be aware of how their data is being used and make informed choices about the level of personalization they're actually comfortable with.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that balance between convenience and privacy.
Exactly.
Now, so far, we've mostly talked about how AI is changing customer-facing aspects of business.
Yeah.
But what about behind the scenes?
Oh, yeah.
Are there ways that AI can improve the internal workings of companies themselves?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, generative AI is already revolutionizing internal operations in tons of ways. Yeah. And honestly, these changes are just as impactful, if not more so, than the customer-facing stuff.
I'm seeing some pretty impressive examples in our source material about AI optimizing internal operations.
Mm.
Things like automating complex tasks, improving supply chain management, and even helping with financial forecasting.
It's amazing what AI can do these days.
It really is.
It's like having a superpowered assistant who can handle all the tedious, repetitive tasks that humans find so boring.
Right.
And by automating these tasks, you free up your human employees to focus on more like, strategic work, the stuff that requires creativity and critical thinking.
So it's not about replacing humans. It's about augmenting their capabilities and making them more efficient.
Exactly.
One of the applications that I find really fascinating is this idea of AI-powered knowledge management systems.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
Can you give me an example of what those look like in action?
Sure. Imagine you have a question about like a company policy or procedure.
Yeah.
Instead of wasting hours searching through like endless email threads or file folders, you can just ask the AI.
Okay.
And it can instantly pull up the exact information you need from a vast database of internal knowledge.
That sounds like a huge time saver.
Oh, it is. And it also reduces errors and frustration.
Right.
Nobody likes having to dig through like, mountains of information to find what they need.
No, definitely not. Now, what about supply chain management? That's an area that's gotten a lot of attention lately with all the disruptions and uncertainties we've seen in the world.
Yeah,
Can generative AI really make a difference in such a complex and dynamic field?
it definitely can. One of the most powerful applications of AI in supply chain management is demand forecasting.
Okay.
AI models can analyze historical data, market trends, all sorts of external factors to predict future demand with incredible accuracy.
So instead of relying on gut feeling or outdated spreadsheets, companies can use AI to make data-driven decisions about production, inventory, resource allocation.
Precisely. And this allows them to be much more agile and respond to changes in demand much faster.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And are there any other ways that AI is being used in supply chain management?
Oh, yeah, tons. We're also seeing AI being used to optimize logistics,
Okay.
like planning the most efficient delivery routes or even running warehouses more efficiently.
It's incredible how much potential AI has to transform the way we do business, both internally and externally.
Yeah,
Now, speaking of transformation, let's talk about product design and prototyping. This is where generative AI really starts to feel futuristic.
it does.
And we're talking about AI designing products that are lighter, stronger, and more efficient than anything humans could come up with on their own, right?
That's right. We're already seeing AI being used to design everything from car parts to airplane wings to, like, the latest gadgets.
And how does that process even work?
Well, instead of just relying on, human intuition, AI can actually generate thousands of different design possibilities based on specific parameters,
Ah,
like material strength, cost, weight, and even aesthetic preferences.
wow.
And then human designers come in and they refine those AI-generated options, leading to products that are not only more efficient, but also more visually appealing.
So it's really a partnership between human creativity and AI's computational power.
Exactly. It's like giving designers a superpower.
What are some of the most compelling examples you've seen of this in action?
Well, as I mentioned before, there's the example of car companies using AI to design lighter yet stronger parts, which improves both performance and fuel efficiency.
Right.
We're also seeing fashion brands leveraging AI to predict trends and generate entire product lines tailored to specific customer segments.
It's amazing how much AI is changing the game in industries like fashion, where staying ahead of the trends is everything.
It's a really exciting time to be in this space.
It really is. But here's a question that comes to mind. If AI can already design products that are lighter, stronger, more efficient, what does that mean for the future of human designers?
Right.
Are their jobs going to become obsolete?
That's a question a lot of people are asking.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, it's not about replacing human designers, it's more about augmenting their abilities.
Okay.
AI can handle those tedious, repetitive tasks, like generating tons of design variations, but human designers still bring that irreplaceable creativity, intuition, and understanding of human needs to the table.
So it's really about finding that synergy between human ingenuity and AI's computational power.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive into generative AI. We've talked about how it's different from traditional AI, how it's being used to create everything from movie scripts to personalized product recommendations, and how it's transforming businesses both internally and externally.
Yeah.
But this is really just the tip of the iceberg. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll be exploring the business implications of generative AI in more depth.
Cool.
And we'll take a closer look at some of the cutting-edge applications that are still on the horizon, the stuff that's going to shape the future of business and society as a whole. So stay tuned.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into generative AI. We've seen how this technology is shaking things up in the business world. But just like with any powerful tool, we need to consider the business implications carefully.
You're right. We can get caught up in all the cool stuff AI can do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's got to make sense for businesses, right? It's got to help them succeed.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the bottom line. Is generative AI actually helping companies become more profitable?
Well, there's definitely growing evidence that it is. Companies that have adopted generative AI early on are starting to see some really significant returns on their investments.
Oh, wow. Can you give me any specific examples of this? How are they actually using AI to boost their profits?
Sure, think back to the personalized marketing campaigns we were talking about.
Right.
That personalization is leading to much higher conversion rates and stronger customer loyalty.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that translates directly into increased revenue for those businesses.
The more personalized the experience, the more likely customers are to stick around and spend more.
Right, exactly. And we're also seeing companies using generative AI to create brand new products and services that are bringing in big bucks.
Okay, that's interesting. Can you give me some examples? What kind of products or services are we talking about here?
Well, we talked earlier about how AI is accelerating drug discovery in the pharmaceutical industry.
Right.
Those new treatments that are being developed thanks to AI are generating billions of dollars in sales.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's clear that generative AI is much more than just a fancy technology. It's a real game changer for businesses.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's look ahead a bit. What are some of the exciting applications of generative AI that are still on the horizon? What are you personally most excited about for the future?
Oh, there are so many possibilities. One area that I'm particularly excited about is AI-powered drug design.
Okay.
Imagine being able to design drugs that are perfectly tailored to an individual's unique genetic makeup.
Oh, wow. That would be incredible. It would be like personalized medicine on a whole new level.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
the amazing thing is that it's not just science fiction anymore. Researchers are making real progress in this area.
Oh, wow.
We're already seeing AI being used to identify promising drug candidates, to refine existing treatments, and even to design brand new drugs from scratch.
It sounds like we're on the verge of a true revolution in healthcare with AI at the forefront.
I believe we are. And it's not just healthcare that's going to be transformed. I think we'll see AI playing a bigger role in education too. Imagine AI tutors that can personalize the learning experience for each student, giving them customized instruction, feedback, and support.
That'd be amazing, especially for students who struggle with traditional learning methods.
Absolutely.
What about other industries? Where else do you see generative AI having a major impact in the years to come?
Well, I think we'll see AI being used to create more immersive and engaging entertainment experiences. Think about video games that adapt to your playing style and create challenges that are perfectly matched to your skill
Well,
levels.
that'd be so cool.
Or virtual reality experiences that feel so real, they blur the line between the digital and physical worlds.
It sounds like we're heading towards a whole new era of technological innovation.
We are, and generative AI is leading the way.
Now, with all this talk about AI automating jobs and taking over tasks that humans used to do, it's hard not to wonder what the future holds for the workforce. Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's understandable that people are concerned about that.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. It can be used to augment human capabilities, but it doesn't have to replace humans altogether.
Oh,
The key is going to be adaptability. The future belongs to those who can embrace the potential of AI while also recognizing its limits.
so it's about finding that balance between human ingenuity and technological innovation.
Exactly. The jobs of the future are going to require a combination of technical skills, creativity, and critical thinking, the very things that make us human.
Right, right. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive. We've explored the business implications of generative AI and peeked into its exciting future. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll get into some specific strategies that businesses can use to implement generative AI effectively. We'll talk about how to stay ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving field, so be sure to join us for the conclusion of our generative AI journey.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of generative AI. We've talked about its potential, its impact on businesses, and even what the future might hold. Now let's shift gears a bit and get practical.
Right, we've explored all these amazing possibilities, but for those listening who are, actually running businesses, the question becomes, how do we actually put this into practice? Where do we even begin?
That's the million-dollar question. And the truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The best approach is going to depend on a lot of factors: your industry, your specific needs, the resources you have available, all that plays a role.
Okay, that makes sense. But are there any general principles or steps that companies can follow to get started on the right track?
Absolutely. The first and most important step is to figure out where generative AI can actually bring value to your organization. Don't just jump on the AI bandwagon because it's the trendy thing to do. Be strategic about it.
So it's all about finding those areas where AI can truly move the needle, whether it's improving the customer experience, making operations more efficient, or even developing those groundbreaking new products and services we talked about.
Exactly. Once you've identified those key areas, then you need to assemble the right team.
Right, and I imagine that involves more than just, hiring a bunch of data scientists.
Oh, definitely. You need people who understand the technology, sure, but you also need people who understand your business inside and out.
It's about bridging that gap between the tech world and your specific goals and challenges.
Precisely. You need a team that can speak both languages, the language of data and algorithms, and the language of your industry, your customers, your market.
Makes sense. Okay, so you've got the right team in place, and you've zeroed in on those areas where AI can make the biggest difference. What's next?
Data. It all comes back to data. Remember, generative AI is fueled by data. You need to have access to high-quality, relevant data to train your AI models effectively.
That's where a robust data infrastructure comes into play, right? You need systems in place to collect, store, manage, and secure that data.
Exactly. Without a solid data foundation, your AI initiatives are going to struggle. Once you've got your data house in order, then you can start thinking about the right tools and technologies for the job.
And there are a lot of options out there, aren't there? Our source material mentioned those GANs, VAEs, and transformers, but are there specific platforms or frameworks that businesses should be looking at?
Oh yeah, there are tons of options, and honestly, the landscape is constantly evolving. You've got open source platforms that give you a lot of flexibility, and you've got commercial platforms that are maybe a bit more user-friendly. The best choice for you is going to depend on your specific needs, your budget, and the complexity of the problems you're trying to solve.
It sounds like there's a lot to consider. Are there resources available to help businesses make sense of all this and choose the right path?
Absolutely. You've got consulting firms that specialize in AI implementation. There are online courses that can get your team up to speed, and industry events where you can learn from experts and network with other businesses who are on the same journey.
It's all about finding those guides and partners who can help you navigate this exciting but often complex new world.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say a company has successfully implemented generative AI for a particular use case. What's next? How do they ensure that this AI continues to deliver value over time?
That's where monitoring and evaluation come in. You can't just set it and forget it. You need to keep a close eye on how your AI models are performing, measure their impact on your business goals, and be ready to tweak things as needed.
So it's an ongoing process, not just a one-time project.
Exactly. Generative AI is constantly evolving. The models need to be retrained, updated, and optimized as new data comes in and business needs change.
It's like tending a garden, right? You have to nurture it and give it the right attention to make sure it thrives.
Perfect analogy.
Now, we've talked a lot about the technical aspects of implementing AI, but what about the human side of things? How do you get employees on board with these new technologies?
That's a really important point. Change management is absolutely crucial for any AI implementation to be successful.
Right.
You need to communicate clearly with your employees, explain the benefits of AI, address any concerns they might have, and emphasize that this isn't about replacing them.
It's about empowering them with new tools that can help them do their jobs better and focus on more strategic and fulfilling work.
Exactly. You also need to provide training and support to help employees develop the skills they need to work effectively alongside AI. Upskilling your workforce is essential for success in this new era of AI-powered business.
That's a great point. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a thought to ponder. Generative AI is an incredibly powerful tool with the potential to reshape industries in ways we're only just beginning to grasp. But like any powerful tool, it needs to be used responsibly, ethically, and with a focus on creating a better future for everyone.
I couldn't agree more. The future of AI is being written right now, and it's up to all of us to ensure that it's a future we can all be proud of.
Well said. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the fascinating world of generative AI. To everyone listening, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with this amazing technology. Until next time.